Therapy with Sun, baby.
Breakfast one.
Yeah.
Since it
Let's get it
appears
popping.
you're calling back into a live
Everything is
show,
gonna
we
be
are
all right.
reconnecting you now.
Everything's gonna yeah, and everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Take a rest now, and everything is gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Hold yourself now. Hold your head, baby. Hold your head. You know why? Because it's the Urban Therapy with Sun show, and my name is aka Sun. You know, we on the one, and we get the job done because we make sure we do. We flow like fluid. You know, you're going to get into it. That's my word. Yeah, I know you heard the things that I'm saying. Yeah, we no delay, and we going to get this thing popping, yo. We get it. Hold on. Almost something, saw something crazy, but we good. Urban Therapy with Sun, baby. Sunday morning, actually Sunday afternoon, well into the afternoon too. You know what? I need to talk to y'all today. We're gonna have us a nice little talk today. Everything's gonna be good. When mommy and daddy don't have no kids together, when mommy and daddy don't have no kids together, how can mommy and daddy not have no kids together? Well, I'm gonna give you an explanation. You know, you could be talking about blended families. You could be talking about an older relationship. You could be talking about a whole lot of things. And there might be your mom, but not your dad. It might be your dad, but not your mom. Anyway, that it goes, you're going to get some understanding. Yo, we going to talk to each other, and we're going to help each other grow and get into another level. Devils don't hang around these things because we know that we rebels and we get positive. The force is like the sauce, and we want to make sure that it spreads and get in your head. And until we are no longer alive, we gonna make sure that we got drive, baby. When mommy and daddy don't have any kids together. So in a middle-aged relationship where all of the children are grown, when menopause is already kicked in, and we're not in the space where we can biologically have any children together, and maybe not, and may not be willing or in the headspace to adopt. Not even talking about kids. Do relationships that don't involve the future with having children, producing families in that way, do they have a fighting chance? Do they have enough passion? Do they have enough love? Do they have enough tenacity? Do they have enough intensity to be able to hold on? You know, can our middle-aged asses get together and stay together without the future of producing families with children involved? Do middle-aged relationships have a fighting chance? Are they good enough? Because I hear a lot of complaints. But we're going to get it together. Yo, Robin Ming, what's going on? She's something like a queen for a king coming through to do a thing. And T Carry, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. So let's get it popping, y'all. All right. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar, with the... And if you can't say Omar with the... well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. So we're talking about when mommy and daddy don't have any kids together. Now, when a lot of y'all may have read that title, or if you're just reading it, or just finding out about it, you're probably thinking like, well, how can mommy and daddy not have any kids together? Well, there are actually a variety of ways that this can happen. So let's talk about some of the ways that this can happen and the impact that it can have on the family as a whole, the impact that it can have on a relationship as a whole, the impact, the gravity that it can have on a man and a woman to like each other, to be attracted to each other, like each other, get together, be together and stay together. When we're younger, one of the big things about choosing a mate, a man or a woman for yourself, is children. That's what our whole future is about. You know, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, well, 20s altogether. Those are normally the years when we start to produce children. So we're choosing normally, not all the time, but we're normally choosing who we're going to be with based on whether they will be a good fit for us for marriage, possibly, but whether they will be good people for us to produce children with. Should I have babies with this woman? Women are asking, will this man be a good father to my kids? We're talking about kids that you may already have, or kids that you may be thinking about producing together, but you're thinking about building a family, building a future. Children are a big part of a couple's future together when you're young. That's what our whole conditioning has been based on. So when we start to take a hard look at it, well, what do we get? What do we get? Have we done our due diligence to try to choose somebody who would be a good fit for us to have children with? Have we done a good job of that? Now, you know, many of us have made some mistakes, and you know, many of us are quick to talk about the mistakes that we may have made. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I had a baby with such and such. I can't believe such and such tricked me into having kids with. Y'all know, y'all have heard all the stories. Y'all may have told a lot of the stories, but you know, having children is a big deal when you're in a young relationship. And many people stay together when they're young because of the children that they have produced or that they want to produce. Children that may have been conceived already, are on the way, or children that have already been born and in which you are raising them. And that's not to say that young relationships don't have strength of feeling, of emotion, of love, because they really do. But when it comes to doing the hard work, when it comes to really putting the time in, and when it comes to commitment and hanging in there during the tough times, a lot of times children are a big consideration. This is not a situation where we can just walk away from each other. I got babies by this person. We got kids together. So regardless of whether we break up together, we're going to still have to deal with each other. We're going to have to still see each other. We're going to have to still find a way to coexist so we can co-parent. Well, what happens when it's not like that? What happens when you've already done all that work? Your children are already in their 20s, maybe even their 30s. We're talking about people dating over the age of 45, 50, and 60 years old, where there ain't gonna be no kids in this thing. So will the feeling that we have for each other, will the feelings that we have for each other, will the love that we have for each other be enough to keep us together? Love will keep us together. Now think about it for a second, because your initial answer may be, yeah, well, I don't need no kids in order to be in love. That's true. But staying in love, or staying after the in love part, no longer is the primary feeling that you have anymore. Do you have what it takes to be with somebody without children being involved? Do you have what it takes to hang in there? You know, many of you going to say yes. And you're probably not lying. You really feel that. I mean, when you really think about it, when you were a teenager, unless you had kids when you were a teenager, but whatever. When you were young, let's just put it that way. When you were very young, I'm sure you fell in love without there being children involved because you didn't have any. And you probably weren't even thinking about conceiving or producing any or raising any at the time. You know, when you were 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. But when you start thinking about being 30 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old, which seems like a whole lifetime when you are 20 years old, even 25 years old. Remember how far 40 years old used to seem when you were 25 years old? Like somebody who was 40 years old when you were 25, that was your old head. Like, yo, you know, my old head, like, it's only 15 years. It's only 15 years. Now, that's hard to explain to somebody who's only 25. But when you get to 40, you realize how fast the time from age 25 to 40 goes. It goes like that. Many times you wonder what the hell happened in between. But anyway, so, you know, getting back to my original premise about talking about the different ways that mommy and daddy may not have children with each other or children together, I should say. It can happen that way. You already had children when you were younger. Many women, by the time they are 40 years old, they already had they tubes cut and burnt. Some just get them tied to whereas they can have a procedure to have them undone, a reverse tubal ligation. But when you get them cut and burnt, ain't nothing coming through. Ain't nothing happening, Captain. Hysterectomy. Ain't nothing happening, Captain. I have seen and experienced where women got pregnant in their tubes because they had their tubes tied and they still got pregnant. That means the man, his penis went up in there and untied the tubes. Like, nah. Which is a dangerous situation because a baby can't survive inside the tube, so they have to do a miscarriage when that situation happens. It can be very emotional. So that's one way. Another way is that, like we were talking about, mommy and daddy may already be like 45, 50 years old or whatever, and they getting together. You know, they met each other, they like each other, they are hooking up with each other, and that doesn't stop. Older children love their parents just as much as younger children do. Sometimes a lot more because they've been through the fire with their parents. Their parents have raised them, and some of us have watched our parents grow up too. But if in the case where your parents had you when they were young, so that's another way where mommy and daddy might not have any kids together. So my mom and my dad had kids together, but my mom and my stepdad may not have any kids together. Same thing with the tubes tied. You know what I mean? Here she is. Here mommy is 33 years old. Already done had her tubes tied. She says she don't want no more kids. Because it seemed like every time mommy had sex, she had a baby. Or every time she got a new man and had sex, she had a baby. So she might have 5 or 6 baby fathers. And she said it ain't going to be a 7th one. So mommy might only be 33 years old. Daddy might be like 35 years old. Daddy might want children by my new mommy, but it ain't gonna happen. And it can be a point of contention when a couple is of childbearing age, but that ain't gonna happen. And a man who really loves a woman at childbearing age, he wants a child by that woman. A lot of times, not all the time. There are plenty of men out here who don't have children and who never wanted any children. And yes, that is a little odd. It's a little weird. But it happens. It happens. So these are just some of the ways that mommy and daddy won't have any kids together. In a situation where a man is dealing with a woman that he really loves, and she's already had her tubes tied, and she may not have told him. Unfortunately, some women have kept that under wraps. If they really wanted a man, and she knew that he wanted children, and she knew she couldn't produce any, but she ain't say shit. Like, I don't know why. I mean, we've been trying. I'm gonna go see I'm going to a fertility clinic by myself next week. To find out what's going on. Crazy shit. Yeah, and you'd be amazed at what people will say, lie about, and do in order to secure a relationship that they really want to be in. Yeah, we can criticize it, we can insult it, we can talk bad about it, we can put it down, but we can't change it. It is what it is. Somebody out there doing that shit right now. Anyway, these are just some of the ways where mommy and daddy might not have any kids together. So mommy and daddy are in love, and they together, and they doing their thing. Maybe it's a man that has always been like a father to you, but is not your biological father. But your mom and him don't have any kids together. They ain't got none. Robbie Ming says, my kids are grown now. For me, a middle-aged relationship would be great. She also says, mine were tied, burned, and chopped, and threw over the Atlantic Ocean. Yo, don't do your tubes like that. You talk about them. You talk about them things like they ain't never had no value. Like, y'all ain't nothing but trouble. Tubes are the word. Look, fallopian tubes of the world ain't nothing but trouble. Shout out to fallopian tubes. Shout out to cervix. Shout out to uteruses. Shout out to ovaries. You know who don't get no shout outs? No shout outs for fibroids. Fuck you, fibroids. Fibroid no good. Fibroid no good. All they do is hurt and make stomachs big. Oh, fibroid tumor ass, no. Anyway, so mommy and daddy don't have no kids together. There are ways where mommy and daddy don't have no kids together. But yeah, so like Robbie Rob was saying, she said that a middle-aged relationship for her would be great. I mean, it is kind of good when you can have sexual activity and there's no threat of an oops, no slip-ups, no late pullouts, no pregnancy tests, no birth control, things like that. But we know that sexual behavior changes as we enter into middle age, whether it gets stronger for some, weaker for others, whatever the case may be, it is what it is, and it does what it does. So, with that being said, without there being children in the picture, and without sex probably being the focal point of your relationship, what does the future look like for middle-aged couples? What does it look like? How does it act? How does it move? What does it do? What does it do? How do the feelings get discovered and developed? Is it based on looks like it was when you were younger? Because we know as we enter into middle age, our looks are different. Not saying that we're ugly or not handsome or anything like that. Not saying that. But looks might not cut it so much. They might not cut the mustard as much as they did when we were younger. When that was what we was thinking about. Because when we start thinking about having kids together, you probably are taking somebody's looks into consideration. Man, I can't be having no ugly babies. That ain't gonna happen. And yes, men do think about that too. Yes, we do. I've heard men say it. Well, I'm handsome and people in my family are handsome. So, the child is going to be good looking regardless. I've heard it said. Hopefully they were right. But the bottom line is men take looks into consideration. Even the looks of a child, they take that into consideration too. Shoot, men don't want no ugly babies. If somebody told you that men don't really care about what their kids look like, they lying. They lying. I've heard men talk about how their kids got good hair, like they do. Flawless skin, like they do, or their side of the family does, or whatever it is. Men are concerned with the looks of their children, just like women are. I don't know about the levels, but the bottom line is east side. They care. My brother Lawrence Sakel is in the house. What's going on, my brother, my G? Good to see me some of you, my Miss Ann. But yeah, so when mommy and daddy don't have any kids together, daddy 45, mama 42. You know what I'm saying? Or daddy 45, mama 37. Daddy like, yo, I need one more. I need one by you. Mama like, yo, them tubes is cut and burnt. You ain't getting none. Or I ain't having no more. I already got 5. Shoot, I got some young ones. Why don't you just take care of them? I already been taking care of them. I got their Christmases. I got their back to school. I got their birthdays. I got their Easters. I got their tax time. I got everything. But I need one. I need my own player. I mean, I mean, that's not going to take away, none of the existing players, but I need a new draft pick. I need a rookie on the team. And it's no secret that when a man, a lot of times, not all the time maybe, but when a man deals with a woman who has multiple kids, he normally wants to put one of his own bloodline, just in case his girl or wife and all of her kids turn on him one day. He got to have one in there that's going to be like, that's my dad. And y'all ain't going to do my dad like that. Men do think that way. And I don't think that they're wrong for thinking that way. Robbie Ming says, let's adopt. I say let's not. I ain't gonna lie, Rob. I've never thought about adopting kids. I gotta know where my babies are coming from. I'm sorry. I can't be having listen, I don't eat no mystery meat. I don't have no mystery kids. I need to know where your mama and your daddy came from, what kind of people they are, You know what I'm saying? You know, on some Roe v. Wade shit. I'm not trying to have no rape baby. No rape baby for me. Shout out to people who do adopt, though. I mean, that's a beautiful thing for them, not for me. I come from a family that slip up and produce kids. I don't come from, nobody in my family ever gave up a baby. They just had to give it up for the baby. You know, there's some, some people give up their kids. Some people have to give it up for their kids. Give it up. Like, you might have had to give up drinking for your kids. You may have had to give up smoking for your kids. You may have had to give up a career choice for your kids. Give up womanizing. Give up pole dancing, stripping. Give up traveling as much or partying. Yeah, I come from a family that had to give it up for the kids. We don't give up we don't give up kids though. We don't do that. We don't do that. But I ain't mad at people who adopt. There are millions of children out there who need good homes. They just can't get one over here. But we can work something out. I can help you out. Point you in the direction of somebody who's barren. You know what I mean? Somebody who's barren. Women on both sides of my family, they had too many eggs. They producing too many eggs. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole dairy over this bitch. Anyway, make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Son Show, and we talking about when mommy and daddy don't have any kids together. When they ain't got no kids together. Can a middle-aged relationship where children are not a factor? Can middle-aged relationships get that strength of intensity, strength of passion, strength of commitment? Can they work themselves up to love each other like those who have kids together, to stay together like those who have kids together? In other words, can you rely on yourself? Can you control yourself? And the reason that I say that the question is whether you can rely or control or depend on yourself is when you start talking about your dedication of commitment. Your dedication of commitment. Are you able to practice fidelity, loyalty, and commitment without the threat of divorce or losing money, assets and stuff, or being hurt in some type of way? It's a true test. Robbie Ming says, I knew a married couple that was married. He wanted kids and she had kids. She lied and told him she was pregnant until she had a monthly. She told him she was having a miscarriage. You know what? I think we've all known somebody who did that. I mean, it's crazy. And unfortunately, if you watch the ID channel, they went and killed the mother of a young baby to man, listen. Did they ever think like, well, what kind of man am I with if he would leave me because I couldn't have children? Now, when you're that young, when you're of childbearing years or whatever, maybe I understand it to a certain degree, but live your life. When mommy and daddy don't have any kids together, both of y'all in y'all 50s, both of y'all have been married before, both of y'all have grown children, all of them grown. children are not a factor anymore. Not as far as us having to try to stay together for the kids. We staying together for the kids. You done already stayed together for the kids. You ain't doing that no more. But does your relationship have what it takes in order to stay together? Does your commitment have what it takes? Are you able to get your bicycle of commitment to run without the training wheels? Can you? Can you? I mean, most people in most situations have to ask themselves that question. Can you perform and complete tasks without the threat of rebuttal or discipline? Some people can't do it. Can you? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe so. When mommy and daddy don't have any kids together, they're no kids from the past. They're no kids coming up. But can they love each other together? Can they stay together? Let's stay together. Well, these are some of the things you have to think about when mommy and daddy don't have any kids together. How many men out there within the sound of my voice have ever dated a pregnant woman that wasn't pregnant by you? And on the surface, to some people, that sounds trifling. Call it whatever you want. It happens. Now, how many of y'all, by show of hands, have dated a pregnant woman? Well, wait. Haven't really dated a pregnant woman, but had sex with her. Now, a lot of y'all going to say a woman who will have sex with anybody besides her baby father while she's pregnant is disgusting. By show of hands, how many of y'all have been disgusting? All right, you ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to tell me. But I'm going to say this. What happens in that Vegas bedroom stays in that. I'm just saying. That poor father of that child missing out on all that pregnant twat. Because every man who has ever gotten a woman pregnant knows that there ain't no twat like pregnant twat. None at all. Robbie Mink says, I think that's nasty. I think it's nasty and disgusting. Well, maybe it can be. Now, I think if you're having sex with multiple men besides your baby father while you're pregnant. However, I don't think it's disgusting if you don't know who your baby father is in the first place. What difference does it make? Okay, maybe it is disgusting, but it's disgusting for different reasons. All right. But anyway, it happens. I mean, a girl could have got pregnant by some dude that she did. First of all, you could have got pregnant by a dude and didn't find out that you were pregnant until later on in your pregnancy. Like maybe you found out that you were pregnant after the 16 weeks was up. And you be like, no, I gotta have this baby now. So maybe you got pregnant by a dude that you didn't know you were pregnant by, but now you've done the math and all of that, and you know that, oh, that gotta be Clarence. This is C-Dub's baby. Clarence. Oh, fudge. Unfortunately, you and Clarence had pretty much a one-night stand. And maybe you don't want to have sex with Clarence ever again. But Clarence then already knocked you up. Should you wait until you have the baby to have sex again? Maybe. I think there's still other situations to consider, because you may have had sex with Clarence on a rebound before. Now you and your baby, you and your other baby dad, or you and your boyfriend, y'all got back together. Y'all patched things up and got back together, and now you're pregnant. It ain't his. You already let him know it ain't you, because I got pregnant way before you came back into the picture. Then what do you do? So do you tell your current man that you didn't know was going to be your man? You know, this happened before y'all got back together or got together. So you didn't even know you was pregnant for the first 3-4 months. Now you know that you are pregnant, but you're pregnant by somebody else. Should you put everybody else on ice until the baby is born? Like singing hallelujah on a Sunday morning, like a brand new baby that just been born, like hot butter on. Say what, the popcorn? You know it's got to be on. Yeah, I know I'm putting some shit on y'all this afternoon, but it's a real thing. When mommy and daddy don't have any kids together, how strong can it be? How strong can it be? So, one thing is for sure. Most couples who love each other a lot, they barely look at anything that they do together, or they barely look at anything that they are in agreement with as being wrong. Like, no, it's right because we're right. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I mean, if you feel like if you're pregnant with one man's child and having sex with another man may somehow throw off the spiritual content of the baby that lives within you, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. People act like the actual baby is in there. Like the baby is just ducking the smoke of the penis. Like, hey, oh, you almost got me in it. Oh, wait a minute now. It's not like that. But I know y'all know that. I know y'all know that. We good. We good. When mama and daddy don't have no babies together, they don't have no kids together. Wait a minute. Robbie Robin said, "Do you watch Maury Povich?" Yeah, I used to watch that. Yes, he is. No, he's not. Oh, well, you think you're probably saying yes, he is throwing off the spiritual content of the baby. I don't know. I can't say. I can't say. I can't say. Stacy White, what's going on? Thanks for coming on by. Thanks for saying hi. When mommy and daddy don't have no kids together. I'm my father's child, not that mother. Not that one. Mommy and daddy are making the best of a situation. The best of a situation. I understand. But these middle-aged relationships require maturity. They require growth. And they require a lot of patience. And I don't think that a lot of us are working on our growth and patience and maturity. Maybe one out of the two, maybe two out of the three. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe one out of three, maybe two out of the three, but I don't know if we could score a perfect three. The trifecta. The trifecta. When mommy and daddy don't have no kids together. Is the love strong? Is the relationship strong? Is it built on a foundation strong enough to carry or withstand the weight of what we're doing? Maybe so, maybe not. So, in absence of growing your relationship through building families with children in it, what are the things that you're looking for in a middle-aged relationship? Now, there could be many things. You don't have to rush right in, but if y'all are familiar or you know some things right off the bat, you can put them in the comments, or you can just tell yourself. We don't always have to put each other out on Front Street. What do a middle-aged couple have that will make them stay together if it's not children? Well, unfortunately for some, it's money. Such and such has money, so we will have financial security. Will that keep you from cheating, though? I don't know. I have no idea whether that will keep you from cheating. That could be very problematic. You're grabbing something that has no feeling in it. You're dating or engaged to or are married to somebody because they could financially take care of you. That karma normally, certain things get karma activated, and that might be one of them. That might be one of them. Money. Sex. Some people are very motivated by sexual desires. Gotta have it ass niggas. Gotta have it ass niggas. And it's not even just men. It's a more popular concept among men, but there's some women out there who have such a voracious sexual appetite that they may get with somebody or date somebody or be with somebody, just for their sex. I've heard them say it. I've heard them talk about it. Whether they talking about the penetration or the oral. Well, he do know how to do this and that. Some of them be having mad babies by that cat too. Okay. That is the way it is. Another thing that can keep a middle-aged couple together is security. Security. Feeling like somebody is going to be there for you. Somebody has your back. Somebody will rescue you. Somebody will help you or assist you when things are not going well for you. So that's one of the ways that people can be together. Don't have nothing to do with the baby. Their baby. So as we keep it pushing, there one of the other things that can keep a couple together who doesn't have children, family tradition. My great-great-grandparents are married. And my great-grandparents and my grandparents and my mama and my daddy, I come from a long lineage of two-parent homes. Long lineage of two-parent homes. Two-parent families. So I got to have that situation for me and mine too. You know, a lot of people have been taught that getting divorced is wrong, or infidelity on any level is dead wrong. I don't know if they've been taught that or if they conceptualized it themselves that being in a monogamous relationship is the only way to be. And it's the only thing that's accepted or tolerated. So some people will get married based on that. Even if they don't have children together. Even if they don't. The hell? Oh. I messed around and tapped my link to the show. I'm looking at myself like, yeah. All right. Wait a minute. Okay. Other reasons. Sorry, y'all, I'm sharing the show. Please do the same. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. But yeah, security for the future. Making sure that you have somebody in your corner for when you grow old and you're unable to take care of yourself the way you used to be able to. Somebody who will help, who will assist, who will be there. A lot of middle-aged people start contemplating their morality. Mortality. Sorry, not morality. I'm like, wait a minute, how come that didn't feel right? They start contemplating their mortality and the mortality of their health status. So it'd be like, I don't want to be old and alone. I don't want to be old and alone. So somebody might marry somebody or get with somebody based on that. Yeah, they ain't the best, but they the best I got right now. I'm going to take it. It's like when they don't have your favorite produce at the produce market. Yeah. All right. What are you doing? What I'm doing? Okay. Yeah. Coming into the reality of our mortality. The reality of our mortality and trying to secure our spot, our love spot and support spot for the future. Now, with all of this being said, how much faith do we have in our middle-aged relationships or whatever, or relationships that where we don't have children, the threat of children, or the involvement of children? All right. So as we proceed to give you what you need, when mommy and daddy don't have any kids together, how many of y'all have seen your parents struggle in relationships and wanted more for them? See, because some people watch their parents go through abusive situations, toxic situations, and that's coming and going. So some of us have seen our parents be toxic or violent or whatever, and some of us have been in those relationships themselves. So when it comes to your parents, though, we want them to be happy with whoever they're with, the same way that we would hope that they were happy with whoever we're with. But when you start talking about, people getting together, and when you start talking about, the reality of our mortality, and when you start talking about really wanting to be with each other without the chains or the crutch, because a lot of people do use the kids thing as a crutch. Like they don't really want to break up with somebody in the first place, so they'll make it sound like or seem like they're just letting certain things go. There's no trouble in that paradise. But when we start talking about our parents, watching your parents go through it, male, and that's whether it's your mom or your dad, because we normally talk about how our mom was in abusive relationships. For those of you who have had parents or moms or whatever that were in abusive relationships, they might we want more for them. We want to be able to help them the same way as they may have given us help when they were younger. Yeah, we may want more for them, but it's not an easy thing to witness. History in the making. When you used to be with such and such. Shout out to people who have been together over 20 years. But first of all, shout out to people who've been together for 10 years or better. Shout out to people who've been with each other since the lion's mane was oh so strong. The wild land. The wild line. When mommy and daddy don't have any kids together. Well. Is that foundation strong or is it weak? Weak. Strong foundation without kids. Without them cheering to worry about. No future of the cheering. Okay. We also have, besides our parents, we also have children. Brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, people who are close to us. So we receive a lot of information. We receive cues from almost everything that we see and everybody that we know and the situations that they are in, and we have to decide whether we want to be part of that type of situation for ourselves. At least we are in a position to be able to try to help out, be that ace in the hole. Be that ace in the hole. The ace in the hole. Yeah. Making our own decisions, going our own way, forging our own path without the threat of it. I mean, listen, if I'm going to suffice it to say that if you can't find a way to be together and be happily together without, or maybe even unhappily together, without there being children used as a bargain chip, you probably should forego any future relationships. You should be able to love or stay loved and committed without there having to be all of these extra incentives in the form of children. Churn. So what are we doing with this? How are we carrying it? How is we? Hold on. All right. Okay. Here's what to go and do. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do these birthday shout outs, and then we're gonna peace out. Enjoy the rest of our Sunday. Shall we do that? All right, so let's go ahead and do it. Since we agree, since we all in agreement and everything, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Kanika Force turning 35 years old today, and Tiffany Hayes turning 40 years old today. And she's raising money for donations to Rage Against Addiction. Nice. And Fran Happiness, happy birthday to you, Fran Happiness. And Kalista Okolo turning 44 years old today. And Alberta Jones Jackson turning 70 years old today. And Viola Cox, happy birthday to you. And Rosalind Comager McKinnon, happy birthday to you. And Tessie Richardson, happy birthday to you. And Anastasia Gales, turning 39 years old today. And Hazel Rowe, happy birthday to you. And my man Lulu Bell, yes, Lulu that's a he. Happy birthday to you. And go getter from Chicago, my girl Sean Ayers, happy birthday to you. And Michael Johnson, turning 54 years old today. And Daryl Carr, happy birthday to you. And Connie Bynum Key, happy birthday to you. And Warnell Wright, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Jonathan Richardson turning 56 years old today, and Warner Wright was turning 62. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious August 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Love American style. After 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 77, whatever. I don't think that love has any time limits or any age limits or any age frame requirements. Because when we talk about middle age, we're not talking about a specific age. We're talking about an age frame. I don't think that it has any restrictions or requirements. If you love, you love. If you're committed, you're committed. If you have to have children in order to practice commitment, then commitment is probably not a thing for you to ever try to practice. Shout out to those who have learned to love without having to have the extra bargaining chips, the human bargain chips being, part of the lore of love is the fact that you know it when you really, really feel it. But that's a little different than attraction. It's definitely different from commitment, and it's a whole lot different from basically being tenacious enough to hang in there. But you have to get to know yourself first. Once you get to know yourself and where your stance is as far as what you will and won't allow, I think that life becomes a lot easier. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. You can love and stay together. Shoot. After you've already had children, raised children, been married a few times, been through the relationship ringer, the least you can do is know exactly what you want. And if that's what's going on with you, good looking. All right, let's get on up out of here. All right. So Blog Talk. I said Blog Talk. We're going to get you out of here. Yes, yeah. Yes, dear. Okay. And go.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace.